I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Yes.
It sounds to me like you respectfully are struggling with a little self-doubt, where you're saying that maybe if not for affirmative action, you may not have made it to this school. And that's sad to me, because I believe that if we take someone with fewer resources like yourself, who made her resume sing and dance and was a brilliant student, and we gave you more resources, I believe you were brilliant with little, and I believe that you would be brilliant with more. I think for you to think of yourself that only because of a government program you got into this great school is kind of sad, as opposed to relating it to your accomplishments. Change My Mind is the opportunity to sit down and have hopefully a productive conversation where we rationalize our positions, typically using the Socratic method, on what are seen as controversial topics. Today's topic was actually requested by students of UT because of the history here and it being a hot topic. It is my position that affirmative action, specifically as it relates to campus applications and acceptance, is racist.
Okay.
By definition, I don't agree with it. You are more than welcome to change my mind if you think I'm wrong.
Well, to begin, can I tell my story? I mean, I don't have a lot of statistics and data because I wasn't prepared coming here.
No, that's fine.
I grew up in a very poor rural area, Longview, East Texas. We don't have a lot of opportunities.
I have I have an in-law from Longview, actually. Longview, you would go to Tyler, right? Is that where they had the big escalator?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't want to insult Tatum at all.
No.
It's a wonderful school, but we kind of follow like career tracks. The big tracks, at least I know, were like welding, oil field training, and then like we had a nursing school nearby, so we had trades, yeah. And so I did this whole nursing trade.
Okay.
We didn't have a lot of resources, but I'm glad I went to Tatum. It's a great school, but again, we didn't have a lot of resources. We didn't have AP, we didn't have IB, we just had honors. And I did very well. However, it was because of the low resources, I feel like I wouldn't have gotten in or had, compared to like Austin school students, or high school, because they have AP, they have IB, they have all these resources to do well in college. And if it wasn't for affirmative action, students like me, I feel like would have less of a chance to go to a place like Tatum where they had all these different majors and different organizations that would have helped students like be more capable to get a job.
Sure. Well, I guess a couple of questions. Can I ask you, first off, not knowing your personal story, but I am very interested, how do you believe that affirmative action helped you? Specifically?
It would have given me, I guess, a more holistic look. Like, due to my, I didn't have any AP IB. I didn't have much organizations I went to.
Sure.
So I was quite sparse when it comes to that sort of resume.
Right.
But I had a huge, a great essay coming from an immigrant family. I was first generation American. Because they were able to say, okay, she's not only black, but she came from an immigrant family. And because she went through all these adversities, she's still qualified to go to UT. It's not just based on your resume, academic or service resume, you know?
But it sounds to me like you said that you did perform well at your schools.
Yes, I did. And that's no joke.
Yeah.
It was just that anyone can really do well academically, I feel like
No, not anyone can do well academically. That's an accomplishment, and I think that's a far more important measurement of who you are than your race, because it's a performative measurement. You chose to work hard and be good in school. You chose a career path. You chose to write a formidable essay. I think that's a great thing. I just don't see how your race entering into the equation, if these performative standards were met, which it sounds like they were, would help you.
Would that be confirmed to a Tatum, small school, small resource?
Forgive me, I'm not super familiar with Tatum. Is Tatum?
Tatum's the high school I went to.
Oh, Tatum is the high school you went to. And you're saying there were no high schools in your area that had AP or sciences, and you're studying AP here? What are you studying now? I'm
studying political communication, and I'm going into marketing.
Okay, so I'm confused. How would you need those classes?
Well, to get into a place like UT, I didn't have a lot. And I was the top of my class, but only in that small pool of I didn't have much competition.
Sure.
But if I go to a place like Longview High School.
Right. Is that bigger?
Yes, a lot bigger.
Okay. Forgive me, I'm not super familiar. I see them both as relatively small towns.
Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't have done as well.
Okay.
Because they had more resources and all that stuff.
I don't understand that.
Well,
You did. Hold on a second. Let me, because you seem like a very bright person.
yes.
You did really well in a school with few resources.
Few resources.
And you believe that if you had taken your work ethic, right, and your level of intelligence, which
Yeah.
performed very well with very sparse resources, you believe that if someone provided you more resources, you would perform more poorly? I would imagine the opposite.
Wouldn't it be like with a bigger pool of students, more competition, more brighter students?
Well, sure, there's more competition, but you would have far more resources.
True. It's just, I feel like for people who didn't have those resources, race, if they look at the race and be like, okay, you had these different adversities, it's still important. We still need these type of people, because if it was just based on like a blank academic like resume, or like a blank.
Well, it's not based on a blank academic resume. It is based on observable, concrete metrics. So, for example, your SAT scores or your ACT scores, your overall grades, your extracurriculars, right? All of these things are performative. What is not performative is being born black. And I don't believe that should enter into the equation, because I think, first off, can I? And I don't want you to take this the wrong way.
Yes.
It sounds to me like you respectfully are struggling with a little self-doubt, where you're saying that maybe if not for affirmative action, you may not have made it to this school. And that's sad to me, because I believe that if we take someone with fewer resources like yourself, who made her resume sing and dance and was a brilliant student, and we gave you more resources, I believe you were brilliant with little, and I believe that you would be brilliant with more. I think for you to think of yourself that only because of a government program you got into this great school is kind of sad, as opposed to relating it to your accomplishments. Forgive me, that's how I view it. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I do. It's
because I see someone who came out of adversity, who came from a school that didn't have a lot to offer, and did well regardless. Seems to me that actually affirmative action, which would view you through the prism of race rather than your accomplishments, would be self-defeating.
I just don't want to, like, for students who have no other way to like get in, like if they didn't have, again, a very extensive resume, or if they didn't have a lot of opportunities to do a lot of service orgs and stuff.
You did.
Well,
You're from what you've said, not insulting them. You're from a very small town with
yes.
not a lot to offer.
Yes.
And it sounds to me like you did a whole lot.
as much as I could with the resources that were given.
Right.
I mean,
why shouldn't we expect that from everyone else?
Well, just on paper wasn't a lot, so I don't know.
On paper, what you contributed wasn't a lot. So in other words, are you saying that you don't think you deserve a spot at UT? Are you saying that you think you got in because you're black?
No. Yeah.
You do?
Maybe.
The fact that you don't know right now, do you see that isn't that a bad thing? That's not a good thing.
It's not. It's not.
I want you to be able to say, I deserve to be here. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Wouldn't it be better? Let's say there wasn't a whole lot on paper. Okay? Let's say that's the case. I don't know. I assume that you probably did pretty well. But let's say there's not a whole lot on paper.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it still be better for you to go to a community college, right? Get those credits and know that you deserve your spot at UT, so that when I ask you this question right now, beyond any shadow of a doubt, you can say, no, I earned my spot here. I was more qualified than anyone else. That's why I'm at UT. Mm-hmm. Don't you think you'd feel better in giving that answer?
I would. It's just that right now I don't see anything other than affirmative action right now that would. I'd rather live with the doubt and still get the opportunities. You know, like, because if there's doubt that I got here, now that I'm here, I can push myself even forward to really earn it. You know.
Should have earned it before you got here, and I think you probably did.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: when you look at the statistics, they can't know. Black students can't know, right? If you are admitted because affirmative action exists, okay? Even if you are more qualified than that Asian student, if I ask that student this question right now, they have to answer the same way that you do. I don't know. I think I deserve to be here, but I don't know. It was affirmative action. Right? They have to answer that same way as the student who is in affirmative action acceptance, right?
Right.
That's sad. Even the person who is undoubtedly qualified, who deserved their spot, they can never answer, yes, I deserve to be here and be proud of their accomplishments. That being said, Asians on campus can answer it, and white students on campus can answer it, because they had to perform to higher standards. So if I ask the same question right now to an Asian student on campus, did you earn your spot here? Do you deserve to be here? They will be able to tell me beyond any shadow of a doubt, absolutely. I earned higher in the SATs. I did more extracurriculars. I earned my spot at this university.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.